Straße. Der ein oder andere Nostalgiker wird sich erinnern. Lange in der dritten Liga unterwegs gewesen, Urs Fischer. Hat damals mit Sicherheit noch keine Notiz genommen von diesem Verein. War allerdings am Freitag hier beim letzten Punktspiel. Jetzt sind wir beim Münzwurf. Also, Ferl gewinnt die Seitenwahl. Union wird anstoßen. Sven Jablonski ist der Schiedsrichter, ist in der Bundesliga unterwegs, hat da schon 27 Spiele gepfiffen. Assistiert wird er von Arne Arning und Holger Henschel rechts. Vierte Offizielle ist Katrin Rafalski. Und hier vorm Stadion in einem Mobil sitzt Dr. Robert Kampka. Gibt keine Glasfaserleitung nach Köln von hier. Dementsprechend wird der Videoassistent hier vor der Tür sitzen, oder der sitzt hier vor der Tür. Es gibt das schon mal als Hinweis, keine kalibrierte Linie. Das war in diesem Stadion aufgrund der flachen Perspektive. Für die Kameras nicht möglich. So, das sieht schön aus da hinten im Berliner Block, aber das wird kosten. Diese Pyro-Aktion wird, denke ich mal, fünfstellig den Schatzmeister in Berlin treffen. Aber jetzt kümmern wir uns um das Spiel. Aktuell nach dem Heimsieg gegen die Hertha der neu ernannte Big City Club gestern aus dem Pokal geflogen. Also auch da könnte man weiterkommen als
Dried out tears of sorrow, lacking all emotion, staring down the barrel, waiting for the final gates to open to a new tomorrow, moving with the motion, following the light that sets me
كيلاب إسانشال كيخليك تعبر على الأفكار ديالك.
Evidently is exactly what Gonzalez just lost there. Havertz left the pass short for Weiser. Fortunately for Leverkusen, Gonzalez was still coming back from an offside position. Diaby drawing the foul. If you haven't seen the goal that he scored against Hoffenheim, it was one of those moments where your draw genuinely hit the floor. sublime piece of skill. I won't spoil it in case you want to go find it on YouTube now, but I would have highly recommended it. It was a moment of ingenuity. It really took your breath away. Fine finish at the end. Bit too. Demirbay. Lovely control from Havertz, who goes for the shot after chesting the ball down, and well, he certainly got that in his locker, Kai Havertz, and he wasn't far away here from opening the scoring. We've seen some fantastic goals so far in the DFB Pokal round of 16. That would have been up there with them, but Havertz again here with the chance, back to goal, kicks it towards the back post. The man was over in Sven Bender. Vital interception made at the back for Stuttgart. Waman Gituka in trouble now, under pressure from two. Ends up putting it out for a throw-in. Here is Sven Bender, a two-time DFB Pokal winner with Borussia Dortmund in 2012 and 2017. Now with Ezequiel Palacios. Had some good early touches so far tonight, the debutant on the ball, combining well with Havertz. If those two can strike up an understanding that comes anywhere close to the understanding that Havertz had with Julian Brandt, now of Borussia Dortmund, then that will certainly serve Leverkusen well. Palacios, though, very comfortable on the ball, the man signed from River Plate. Picked up 4 titles in Argentina, amongst them the Copa Libertadores. But just 21 years of age, Palacios. The way he is talked about in Argentina especially, there is no shortage of potential to be tapped with him. Wasn't able to feature in any of the opening 3 Bundesliga games of the Rückrunde due to a suspension for a red card that he picked up in Argentina. So Leverkusen have had to be patient, but it's given them time to bed him in at the club. Peter Bosz has talked about the fact that he has integrated very well so far. But now getting his first taste of German football tonight, Ezequiel Palacios. Sloppy pass from Diaby. Waman Gituka thought about giving chase. Notice that the pass was overhit though. We had been expecting Stuttgart to line up with a 3-man back line. I think it's fair to say that Pellegrino Matarazzo has tweaked his system somewhat. Roberto Massimo seems to have dropped in at right back. Stenzel's moved over to left back. That leaves us with a 3-man midfield of Mangala, Castro and Förster. Gonzalez is out wide on the left wing. Waman Gituka is on the right wing, and it's Daniel Didavi playing through the middle, almost as a lone striker tonight. So Stuttgart doing well to keep Leverkusen guessing in the opening quarter of an hour here at the Bayer Arena. Chances so far have been few and far between. The closest was a splendid but speculative effort from Kai Havertz. A chest and volley that was just past the post. Silas Wamangituka, signed from Paris FC of the French second tier. We'll be hoping he doesn't have another moment to forget like he had against Heidenheim when he got turned so easily in the box that led to Heidenheim's equaliser in that game. Julian Brandt had put Leverkusen ahead in a dominant first half performance, but Bayer 04, there was a noticeable drop-off after the restart. Heidenheim really took the game to them. And Stuttgart are looking to do the same here. Hint of an offside against Gonzalo Castro. The flag stayed down. Bellarabi does well to recover the situation for Leverkusen. Errant pass allows Leverkusen to break. Diaby's got the pace to beat Nathaniel Phillips. Two aim for in the middle. Kai Havertz is one of them, saved by Breedlove. Back to Bellarabi. And well, his shot was going wide. The chance still alive with Demirbay off target. Well, that is the moment that Peter Bosz's side had been waiting for, a chance to break in transition. Diaby's pace causing all sorts of problems, and Leverkusen really will feel that they should have done better with this chance. Kai Havertz, in particular, if anything, too cool for his own good when shooting from the edge of the 6-yard box. Fabian Breedlove did well to stick out a foot, but a chance that goes unpunished by Leverkusen, that all stemmed from a sloppy pass from Roberto Massimo in midfield. And that is the warning shot that Stuttgart need to heed. Palacios put under pressure quickly by Castro. Havertz does well to ride the challenge now with Bellarabi. Back to Havertz. Bender into feet for Diaby. Pip to the ball though. Now with Wamangituka. Skips past one, skips past two. Looks to skip past three. Doesn't get the rub of the green there from referee Bibiana Steinhaus. Looked like he'd rather overhit the touch to take it past Bellarabi. But he has stayed down. He does get clipped there by Bellarabi. Drop ball. Havertz was looking to spring into action immediately, but not all his teammates were quite on the same page there. Two were still taking on water on the sidelines. Just over 20 minutes played. It has to be said that this is shaping up into quite a fascinating tactical battle Stuttgart have definitely come here with a clear game plan to both sit deep and absorb pressure, but also pick their moments to apply pressure further up the pitch. Their utmost priority is staying disciplined at the back. Under pressure now with Bellarabi coming forward. Alario can't quite get the angle on the header he needed. As we see the chance for Havertz again. You can see what he was trying to do, just open up the boot, find the bottom corner across goal. Nice idea, just didn't quite execute it as we'd expect. Gonzalez, tricky feet there up against Weiser, but it is Weiser who wins out. Bellarabi played into pressure by Palacios. Castro against his former club. Can't quite get the bend on the ball to trouble Hradecki. He never scored a goal in the DFB Pokal for Leverkusen. Gonzalo Castro, he's got 4 in the competition in 38 previous appearances. Interesting enough, all 4 goals came while he was on the books at Borussia Dortmund. He was part of that DFB Pokal winning side of 2017 as well. Nice feet from Didavi. Gonzalez has been full of running down the left flank. Unfortunately, that is a delivery that once again proves the letdown from the Argentine. Needs to work on his end product when it comes to picking out teammates. For now, it's Leverkusen streaming forward. Stenzel does well to stay touch tight there with the pacey Karim Bellarabi. Matarazzo, talking when he took over in the winter break, said of Stuttgart that he wants to be active in every phase of play and dictate the game. Not an easy thing to do against a Leverkusen side who love to stay in possession, but Stuttgart are having their moments. So now it's the home side with a corner. Demirbay to take. Congested 6-yard box, and Redlaw struggled to get there. The foul goes his way though. Demirbay with another delightful switch of play to pick out Diaby. Again, looking to use those quick feet to his advantage. Zinkgraven as well, and a tangle off the ball there between Lucas Alario and Nathaniel Phillips. Man who has returned to Stuttgart on loan from Liverpool. He spent the first half of the season with the club. Loan deal was only 6 months long, but it's been extended now for the second half of the season. Given the fact that Stuttgart are going through a bit of a defensive crisis, given a lengthy injury list that includes Mark-Oliver Kempf, who, as I said, lost a tooth and broke his jaw in a nasty collision with Rio Miyachi of St. Pauli in the 1-1 draw on the weekend. Holger Badstuber still out with an adductor injury, working on his comeback. Meanwhile, Marcin Kaminski is still recovering from a knee injury. For now, though, this is a chance for Wawangituka. Stuttgart have numbers to their advantage. Oh, it's off the woodwork. Well, he went to the lone Silas Wamangituka, and he wasn't far away from causing a real upset. Havertz lost out in midfield. Sinkgraven missed out on the 50-50. Dragovic was trying to play both angles. And it left the shot open for Wamangituka. He accepted the invitation. And you know what? Wasn't far off either. Gets a round of applause from Mario Gomez. Bellarabi, Leverkusen looking for an immediate response to having the frame of their goal rattled. Counts for a handball. Play goes on for time being. Here is Demirbay. Bellarabi now working on the opposite flank. Him and Diaby have switched sides for the time being. Palacios finding his compatriot Ilario, trying to shape a bit of space. It's Leverkusen looking to press high up the pitch and immediately win the ball back, trying to force a mistake out of Stuttgart, but they haven't succeeded, and it's the visitors now breaking with Philipp Förster. Again, he's short of options, goes for goal himself. It should be a corner. It took a touch off Sven Bender. And a goal kick given by Bibiana Steinhaus. Admittedly, the protests from Förster were quite tame as well. I talked earlier, after Leverkusen had a couple of chances in quick succession with Kai Havertz and Kerem Demirbay, that was a warning that Stuttgart needed to heed. I feel like Leverkusen need to heed a warning of their own now. Twice in quick succession, the visitors have broken the lines that Bayer have put down. Wamangituka hitting the crossbar, and now Förster dragging an effort wide. This game starting to open up as we approach the half-hour mark. Corner fails to beat the man on the near post, Gonzalo Castro. Leverkusen's pace is certainly causing Stuttgart's backline problems, whether it's Bellarabi or Diaby putting their head down and running at their man. However, it also has to be said that Stuttgart are doing very well to keep space in behind their backline at a minimum. Oh, that's a tactical foul if ever I've seen one from Mitchell Weiser. Went for the shirts, went for the shorts. And rightly picks up a yellow card for the foul on Nicolas Gonzalez. Weiser had committed. He'd gotten wrong side of his man. Logical consequence of such a blatant foul is he's going to pick up a booking. And now Stuttgart with a chance from the free kick. Didavi wanted to take it quickly. Castro was in space. He's found Stenzel instead. The angle changed now with Castro. Clipped in towards Didavi. Lovely combination play. And Hrdečky had to stay large. Hard to tell whether there was an offside in the build-up. Oh, I don't think there was. Sven Bender had dropped deep. What a chance that was for Daniel Didavi. Did everything right there, Didavi. Kept his composure. Problem is, so too did Lukas Radecki. Bellarabi now cutting inside. Lovely reverse pass for Havertz. He's got two up in support, Alario and Diaby, but he can't quite carve out the cross. It is great to see Kai Havertz returning to his influential best with Leverkusen. First half of the season wasn't quite up to par with what we saw from him in the previous campaign. And he's come on strong in the Rückrunde. And there he is with the header. Glancing one that goes across the face of goal. There were no takers to provide the final and vital touch. Diaby sends his cross long. And the danger dissipates. Lovely, courageous play from Stuttgart and Gonzalez. Didavi with a chance to pick out a man now. Play to the edge of the area for Gonzalo Castro. Well, Leverkusen were worried and they had every right to be. Gonzalo Castro more than capable of finding a target from that type of range. Leverkusen all too familiar with that, given the amount of time he spent on the books at the club. Wasn't the cleanest strike from him. Bender gets the block and Stuttgart settle for the corner. Defending set pieces is certainly a strength of Leverkusen's. One off the training ground from Didavi and Castro. In the end, though, from Castro, it's a swing and a miss. Havertz looking to pull the strings, finding Bellarabi. Stayed out on that left wing for the time being. Lovely play from Palacios and Havertz. Cross deflected though as he looked to pick out Alario. Leverkusen do have to be careful because Alario is becoming rather isolated in the middle. He's very proficient in the air. Crosses into the box. So far, at least, playing into Stuttgart's hands. Mangala. Massimo. Back with Mangala now. Forced to play it all the way back to Bredlo. Sinkgraven caught out on the turn there. Just lost his footing at the vital moment. Roman Gituka battling away. Unsuccessfully in the end. Under 10 minutes remaining in this first half, and a good time for the Leverkusen fans to get themselves on their feet with a chant of stand up for Leverkusen. Goalless so far here, but it is worth noting that Leverkusen have scored in each of their last 16 DFB Pokal fixtures. netting 43 goals in total at an average of 2.7 goals per game. Really an incredible goal-scoring run. Here is Havertz looking to make something happen before half-time. In the end, though, ran into a throng of bodies and was unable to get a shot off. Coming into the game, you would have thought that Leverkusen's impressive goal-scoring run in this competition and the likelihood of that continuing would be high against a side like Stuttgart, especially when you consider that Leverkusen have scored in all but one of their last 21 competitive matches against Stuttgart, as a thumping challenge is put in there. Starting to get a little physical between these two German footballing heavyweights. Sinkraven still feeling the effects of that coming together. Signed in the summer from Ajax, man who has previously worked under Peter Bos at the Dutch club. Looks now at the start of this second half of the season that he may well have wrestled first choice status away from Vendel when it comes to the left back role with Leverkusen. Here is Bellarabi. Palacios looking for Havertz. There wasn't enough in it for me to warrant a foul in the coming together between Stenzel and Havertz. But Stuttgart will happily accept the reprieve. When we talk about reprieve, there's barely been any for the Stuttgart fans in attendance. 2,600 fans that have made the trip north, roughly 400 kilometers in the journey from Stuttgart to Leverkusen. Davi, I have to say, is providing a fantastic focal point for Stuttgart to work around. Unfortunately, the good work there undone by a sloppy pass from Philipp Thursner as he looked to pick out Gonzalo Castro. Palacios now short of options, fancies a run, looking for the run of Diaby. Lovely control to take it past Bredlow, but he is denied by the offside flag. The whistle went early, and that was a very easy decision for the assistant referee on this near side, Marcel Unger. See the technical ability that Moussa Diaby does bring to the table. Leverkusen come away with the ball in midfield. Tiny challenge there from Mangala. Havertz looking to play off the shoulder of the last man, dropping deep now. Finding Bellarabi. First touch just took the sting out of the opportunity that was emerging. Bellarabi, though, wants to put the sting back in it. Snapshot off target though. Just under 5 minutes of normal time to go at the end of this first half, in case you're just joining us from wherever you are in the world. Firstly, welcome. Secondly, no goals to speak of so far. A smattering of chances at either end. Kai Havertz has struck just wide of the target with a chest and volley. Meanwhile, Stuttgart have hit the woodwork. Unfortunately, that chance comes to nothing as Stenzl's delivery is neither cross nor shot. Comfortably handled by Hradecky. And now space for Leverkusen to work with. They haven't had a lot of that in this first half. And Palacios immediately looks to play it in for the run of his fellow Argentine, Lucas Alario. Not quite on the same page there. The two compatriots. Sinkgraven first to the loose ball after Stuttgart failed to clear their lines. Leverkusen trying to crank up the pressure right on the stroke of half-time. That's a lovely ball to Alario, and it's Havertz who turns it home. The appeals for the offside are immediate. The looks of concern on the faces of the Leverkusen players says it all. And that's tight, you know, as to whether Havertz was maybe just ahead of the ball. No one wants to celebrate too much, just in case. Video assist tonight is Tobias Stieler, a man who made a bit of a name for himself on the weekend after sending off Alassane Playa. And there we see confirmation that the goal does not stand. It was offside against Kai Havertz. I have to say it looked like a very close call. But I do believe the correct decision has been made, and it's a let-off for Stuttgart right on the stroke of half-time. Leverkusen were looking to draw first blood. Kai Havertz, I think at half-time, will maybe lament his over-eagerness to get forward there. Had he just held his run and been a little more patient, we could well have been talking about a Leverkusen lead at half-time, which would have mirrored what happened last season in the round of 16 against Heidenheim. Leverkusen boasting a one-goal lead at the break before conceding twice during a second-half drop-off that was alarming, to say the least. Went on to lose that game 2-1. 1 minute of time added on at the end of the first half. That Heidenheim game also highlighting a bit of a worrying trend for Leverkusen. As we have a look at this again, it's the toe of Havertz against the knee of Phillips, and the toe was too far advanced. Stuttgart, though, combining well here. Didavi looking for the early cross. Deflection from Demirbay took the pace off the ball. have to say, I've been impressed with how courageous Stuttgart have been, not just in their defensive approach, which has been disciplined from start to finish, but in their willingness to try and probe for weakness in this Leverkusen backline, especially in transition. For now, though, there goes the half-time whistle at the Bayer Arena. It is goalless at the break. Peter Bosz's side thought they had taken the lead through Kai Havertz on the stroke of half-time. The goal correctly ruled out for offside. It was Havertz who had a chest and volley that whistled just past the woodwork earlier in the first half. Meanwhile, at the other end, Stuttgart hitting the frame of the goal through Silas Waman Gituka. There are goals left in this game.